Well, well, well. Back again. Back again. Welcome to another episode of Brewskis and House Keys. I am Nick Papantanakis.
And I am Tyler Thompson.
And we're two guys that are agents at Remax Alliance in Old Town, Nevada. We're two guys that are doing the real estate thing. And we're two guys who like to drink beer.
Yeah, just two guys.
So we're just a couple guys. And we're sitting here doing all of those things today, talking real estate, talking about beer, and we're doing it a little different this episode. We've done some market updates, we've shared some kind of real estate thoughts and design ideas, and I love that game of if this house were a beer, or what beer would you drink, or what does this beer make you think of? Go down all kinds of different avenues. We've been talking a lot lately because the real estate industry is kind of a never-ending roller coaster, and so the thing we want to dive in on as we get into our topic, which we're going to do, is a little bit more around kind of the pulling back the curtain a little bit about what it is to be an agent and kind of how to navigate that, and not so much to say woo-hoo or boo-hoo for us, but more so, I don't know, just shed some light.
Yeah, just to really open up about how we feel about the business.
This is our therapy session.
This is our therapy session, period.
But first things first, this is called Brewskis and House Keys. So the Brewski side, we are doing something a little fun today. It is officially peach season, and if you know anything about Colorado, we are so proud of our Palisade peaches. And so, here we have two different peach beer options, and we're going to crack them open. Do we want to do the same one at the same time?
Yeah, let's do the same one.
Okay, so we can share our ideas.
You got it.
So let's do the sound, because the sound is great.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, every time.
Every time. We got this nice frosty pint. Thanks, Phil. Putting them in the freezer. Or Cassie, or whoever did it. Maybe Danielle. Danielle might have done it. Point is, they all care that we have cold beer.
That's the only thing that matters right now.
So this beer is the Peach Daddy. It's called a Peach Cobbler Ale, courtesy of Denver Beer Company.
Okay, I like the can. I really like the can. Especially
is that making you laugh?
That is what's making me laugh. It's a little peachy
because
on the back.
Peach looks like a butt. That's why it's funny.
That's funny. Cheers,
cheers, my friend. I'm curious to taste this bad boy.
Yeah.
Peach Cobbler Ale. So what does that mean? That is peach, man.
That is peachy. That is good.
It's almost tart.
I kind of like that, almost tarty. That's good.
But not like a sour.
No.
It's like kind of how their Princess Yum Yum is, where it gets you a little bit.
That's exactly what it reminds me of, the Princess Yum Yum.
Yes. But instead of it being a raspberry Kolsch or whatever that is
good.
And it's still got a little maltiness at the end.
This could be my therapy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, liquid therapy is okay in moderation, I think. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if I should prescribe that.
Yeah, I mean, it always just depends on.
Yeah. Denver Beer Company, one of our favorite places in Old Town, Nevada. They're a staple down here, and really, they make some tremendously delicious. I know they have multiple locations, but the one here is nice. It's got a beautiful patio with misters and umbrellas and fire pits in the winter. And
really just people around it. I mean, Old Town you cannot get old of. You can't go wrong by going out in Old Town, honestly. If you're looking for a peaceful afternoon, it's the way to go.
And you kind of can choose your own adventure.
Yeah, amen to that.
There's all kinds of different places if you want to go 12 volt, you want to go cheapskates.
You want to get rowdy, you can go to cheapskates for sure.
Go do that. If you want to go to like a really nice dinner, you've got to cut like 4 different really higher end places that you can go to. I mean, it's really
seriously. Schoolhouse, I'm a big fan of.
Arvada Tavern never disappoints.
No,
not ever. Cocktails, food,
not once.
But Denver Beer is a great place. They got a great little burger truck in there that's permanently fixed. It's called Mighty Burger.
So good.
Shout out to Denver Beer Company. They've been there. It's an old auto garage. That corner lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, was it an auto garage like when I went to school at St. Anne's?
No, I think it was probably just an empty building.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But back in like the 80s and like early 90s.
That's cool though.
Yeah. Just
like our kind of like what did our buildings be? A meat shop?
The original use, was it was the meat market for the town. So
crazy how times change.
I don't know. So delicious beer, and I think we can dive in on talking about it. We can talk a little bit more about the other one. The other one we're going to be drinking is from Odell Brewing Company, who we already have featured. Mm-hmm. But
that's very true.
It's their Peach Stand Rambler. It's a blonde. So
blonde ale.
Different.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. But in the meantime.
Yeah. I want to hear a little bit about your, I don't know, how you been. We haven't done this in a little while.
Well, I'm a good Nick. Definitely this summer was a little bit slower than what I hoped for sure. Good news is though, is that I think I did as much business as I did all last year, this last summer. So that was good for me. Just because it was a buyer's market for sure. And I had thankfully a lot of buyers that I was working with. So so I was able to get quite a few deals there, but now it's the scarce of finding more clients is kind of where I'm stuck at. So how about you, sir? How have you been?
Well, I want to dive in on that a little bit, but I've been good. It's an unusual time. You know, you've been in this for how long now?
So this is my second year.
And I'm starting off into year 5 now of my time doing this. And the time that I spent in those first few years was that. And this year is different for me because I'm now seeing an unusual turn where I'm suddenly sitting with a handful of listings, which is I've been a buyer's agent more than anything my whole time. And so it's been a different year for me in that regard because there is more nuance, there is more finesse, and there's more, being able to manage expectations when you're on the listing side.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, so quick question for you then, now that you're talking about it. So since you've worked more of the buyer side, now you're working more of the listing side, which side do you find actually harder to do? Because a lot of people, like, the goal is to be a listing agent, right? So it's kind of like you're the one that are putting up the listings and stuff. I met a few agents who are just specifically listing agents. But to me, I love the buyer side. I find it so much easier than the listing side because one of my first deals, as you know, was actually a listing from the floor call. So what are your thoughts on that?
If I can be really honest, and it's going to sound hokey. Okay. In the 18, almost 19 years my father has had his license, he's never picked a lane. Really? He has been there for clients. Yeah. For whatever they need. Right. If they're looking to buy something, if they're looking to lease something, if they're looking to, as far as commercial stuff goes, if they're looking to sell, if they're looking to buy an investment property, looking to buy a vacation home, he's done all of those avenues. Land, he's helped people buy land. So this idea of versatility and focusing more on service than focusing on a lane that I want to work in really speaks to, it speaks to my joy anyway, because that's a service thing, right? I love that aspect of our job.
That's very true.
I don't know. I don't know that I have a preference. I really do. Okay. I enjoy the mix because it keeps. I couldn't do the same thing every single day. That's why I'm a real estate agent. No day is the same.
I feel that.
No day is the same.
No deal is the same either.
No.
I definitely learned that over my last few years 2 years of real estate, but. Yeah, well, I would agree. Like, it's definitely, your dad especially has had years and years of experience in real estate. So, and he's always been someone that's like really good with their clients. So, just like mom, she still works with buyers and stuff like that too. She never chose a lane. So, but to me, I was like, I love the listing side because I was more hands-on. I was calling everyone that was doing showings and stuff. The buyer side, I feel like I should be doing more all the time, but like there's nothing else I can do until I wait for the next date or something like that. You know?
It is tough. I agree with that because you can go as far as you feel comfortable, but I was just on the phone with a client who's also one of my best friends today, and we were talking about this. He's in sales in a different realm, in a different. It's more like
interesting.
Yeah, and he's been that way. He's been in sales for a long time. Very much the personality, for that, but in a good way, not in a slimy, smarmy
way.
Like
he's a good. What he does is good.
He listens. Yeah, he listens and he serves. And I like that approach. But we were talking about that. He goes, people don't want to have you breathe down their neck. Hey, did you do this yet? Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, we pitched this to you. Hey, we sent you this offer. Hey. They want you to deliver information succinctly and directly so that it's easy to understand, and then let them decide. Yep. Especially with something that's as big of a purchase as real estate.
Yeah, your lifetime investment.
No one needs to feel extra pressure at that time. There's already enough pressure as it is.
So true.
So I love that he just said that to me a few hours ago on the phone, and I was like, dude, spot on. Because, and it applies in what you're talking about, like, you do want to do more as a buyer's agent. You do want to make sure that you are proving your value, right? Right. But at the end of the day, if you are helping them look at properties that they've found, if you're helping them find new properties, hey, I found this one. Hey, what do you think of that one? If you're interacting with those agents once they have one they really like, if you're kind of letting them know where the market's at, if you go beyond that, do you become that pushy, hey, I want you to buy a house kind of person? I'm not saying you, but like, does one?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, no, that's hard. Because like part of it is your job to go above the extent, right? Like you want to, as me as a realtor, especially with how I'm newer to the business, I want to show them how much I can do. So I try to like kind of give the approach of I'm doing everything I'm doing as much as I possibly can, just so I make my client feel safer, right? And just so they have like those like extra extensions and stuff. But there is a point where you are practically breathing down the neck. That's like one thing. So for those who don't know, listeners, I'm also an F45 fitness instructor, and I do it just for another pipeline of business, just so I can meet more people. Because sadly, no one's really buying a house my age at the moment. But hopefully we can get that figured out soon. But
they're coming into those years. Don't worry.
Yeah. So slowly but surely.
Coming.
Actually, I have a friend of mine who called me up, and he's like, "Hey, in the next 12 months, I'll be able to buy." And I was like, "Let's go."
There
so
it is.
so that's like the first actual really good friend who's gonna be buying. But yeah, it's just like I have been so careful though at F45 not to be breathing down people's neck. Like I want to make sure they know I'm there because I want to make them better fitness-wise, not because of the real estate. Obviously, I'm there. That's how I started out. But like, I mean, I'm not breathing down no one's necks or anything like that. And it's the best approach to go that route because now I have like almost every now I have clients ask me every day about the real estate market and stuff like that. So it's fun to like be sharing that, and that now like the class is starting to know that I'm a realtor and all that without having me to be really extra salesy. Like that feels good for sure.
You've formed a basis of trust.
Right.
They trust you to train them. They trust you with their health, their fitness.
Right.
That basis of trust, it doesn't matter where it lies there. And
sure.
You've got it now. And so then they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And so it goes with like your question of like, is that too much, or like, that balance there, right? So it's just if they're like, the way I like to treat it is just I do as much as I possibly can, but I'm not going to be breathing down your neck. If we don't want to talk about real estate, we can talk about any other thing. Especially when I'm talking to clients, I love to go off topic, just talk about the family and stuff for a little bit, just to like ease the emotion, because people, when they're under contract, I mean, when you wake up every day, you're still thinking about that house when you're buying, right? Or when you're selling. That's the only thing that's on your mind all day. Wow.
Well, we talked a little bit, I don't know when that was, what episode, but about fear, about the concept of fear. And you could branch it off into anxiety or stress or nerves or whatever. But it's that, right? That's what you're talking about. I think that's what you're talking about.
No, that's spot on, yeah.
And it is a real piece of this puzzle. And in reality, the transaction is not a forever thing, right? When you're buying or selling, it is a process to get to you where you want to be. And that's what we're here for, obviously. Yep. But the reality is sometimes that can be endless stress, endless anxiety. And you're right. I mean, it's so important to be able to recenter people and let them know, hey, there's other things. How is your family?
Yep.
Oh, I remember you talking about getting a new dog. Did you guys get a new dog? That's amazing. Whatever. Like, that's a good way for us to almost have that kind of side hustle as a therapist for our clients.
No, seriously. Seriously. So like, and that makes, actually, I'm going to ask you a question now.
Sure.
Too. When it comes to follow-up, obviously us as realtors, one of our main jobs is follow-up. That's what we do. And we better be good at it, but when you are following up, like, do you feel like you are breathing down people's necks? Do you feel like you're coming off as more of like that salesy kind of person? Because sometimes I do kind of feel that way coming off to clients. But at the same time, I like when I first meet someone in person, I try to get as much information as I can, such as birthdays, anniversaries, kids. So that way when I do the follow-up, it's a lot more personal as well, because I'm not just here as a realtor. We're also here to be, your advocate and friend in the future as well. So like, how do you like feel when you're doing your follow-up work, or like, how do you go about it when it comes to that kind of stuff?
I think I treat it a little bit like, kind of like dating a little bit. Which I haven't done in a long time, so stop me if it starts to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's right.
I don't. But, this concept of if you meet somebody new, cold, you meet them at an event, or you meet them at the office, or you get a cold call, or whatever it is, you have to develop some level of trust in a relationship.
Yes.
And so the first few times of follow-up there, give me a little bit of stress, give me a little bit of anxiety, like, how am I going to word this? I want to make sure I'm saying this right. I want to make sure I know the right thing to talk about. And I do probably overthink that sometimes because I don't know them.
Exactly.
No, I don't know them the way I want it. And I want to know them not just because like, hey, I could maybe, do this transaction with them and then that's helping me in my life too. That's a piece of it, but it's not ever the focus.
That's not all of it.
It's a service first kind of point. And the nice thing is our compensation is known as, people call it commissions, but the reality is they're called success fees.
Yep.
We're not like lawyers where we get paid by the hour.
No.
We
I wish.
are paid when we are successful for our clients.
I wish I got paid by the hour. That would be awesome.
I mean, you can do that if you really if you so choose.
No.
But the reality is, if we're not successful, then nobody wins, right? The client doesn't get to buy or sell. True. We don't get paid. So the reality is, the success fee based industry as we have it, it should drive service.
Yeah.
And so the follow up should be tailored to that individual. So if it's a cold lead, I want to know them first.
Right.
I want to, like you said, I love that you said that. Get the info up front. Talk to them.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, you want to make sure that you're listening every time and you're keeping diligent notes every time.
Yeah, the notes is like staying up to note. Like that's like one of the things I did lack at first, but I learned very quickly to do. Because like even when it comes to like, being personal with your clients, like you're talking about, that's probably one of the most important factors of, when it comes to our jobs is being personable with our clients. And like, nothing means more than, at least to like from what I've heard, like nothing means more than an easy card, that's out for the anniversary or checking on the kids' birthdays. That's something I love to do for sure. So,
those are all good touches. It's if you do it because you want to. Like, I know it's funny that we talk in our team a lot. And Dad, we'll talk about, gosh, Lisa's really good at this thing, and I'm just not good at it. And I'll, I'll say that, whatever it is. If it's handwritten cards, just because,
Yeah.
And I'll look at Dad and I'll be like, I'm just not good at it. And he'll go, but if you don't genuinely like want to do it, why would you don't need to force it, because then you're not being genuine.
Right.
And that's like the hardest hitting home like advice.
That is
it's
true.
Smart. Not because I don't want to celebrate somebody's birthday, or not because I'm not thoughtful or don't want to be thoughtful. But if you're trying to force something, it's like dating. If you're like, I don't really like this person, but I feel like they really like me, so I guess I should try. That's bogus.
No.
Don't go there.
No. Don't force yourself down that path.
Yeah. So don't force something that's not genuine to you. Sitting here talking to you, I love this. I look forward to this when we do it.
Yeah, me too.
That's why this is fun.
Yeah, actually, I was just kidding.
I'm good.
No, I agree.
But if it's not fun, or it doesn't feel good, or you don't feel like you're offering something by doing whatever it is, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. And so that's why I think it really depends on the client. It depends on the individual. It depends on you, me, whomever, your mom, my dad.
Amen to that.
So it is. That's a good question though, because I do think that the key important thing there is, probably my biggest thing on follow-up is, no matter if I know them or not, if there's real information that I need to get for them, I want to be thorough and I want to be efficient with it. So I want to make sure that my favorite one is if I'm working an open house and I meet someone cold, walks in, they're looking at the home, they have a question. I love when I don't know the answer. I love it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Do you have any idea if the HOA allows us to build a taller fence because we have a big dog? Gosh, I don't know.
Yep.
Especially if I'm not the listing agent. I haven't found that information out.
I literally just actually got asked this the other day, literally, and I was on hold with the HOA for a very long time.
But you did it.
That's what we do.
You reached out.
Amen.
And then that gives you a reason to follow up.
Yeah.
I just met this person off the street. They have a question about it, and I would say, you know what? That's a great question. I don't know the answer. Why don't I grab your phone number or your email, whatever's easiest. I'll check in and I'll get back to you. And then do the thing you say you're going to do.
Did I tell you the other day, I don't know if you saw my Instagram story, but if you guys follow me on social media, I literally had to hunt down an attorney, and I had to go to her office to get an answer about an HOA that she was representing, so I could figure out if my client's going to get approved or not for her loan on this condo. So we left at least a week of emails, calls, and I was doing this with my lender, who was, but it was a good time because he called me up about, we were at, he called me up on Wednesday, this was, and he was like, we still haven't heard anything, this is going to put another hold on my client. And my client was kind of getting nervous about it, so I was like, well, does this person have an office address? Because I will just go drive there right now. Because it's always better just to get the answer, if you can get the answer as soon as possible, that's always ideal, right? But most of the case, especially in our job, we're not going to get an answer immediately, which slowly kills us, right? So we went to the attorney's office, and she was not happy that I was there and talking to her front desk lady, but she got back to it. And the funny thing is I had to I had to make sure I could disclose for my client and stuff. But here's what I can tell you, and what she told us, what she could tell us, is all I needed. I was like, that's all we were asking for.
Yeah.
So, but we finally got the answer. So it's just sometimes, just like pushing that little bit off the edge. But
people want to know what real estate agents do.
yeah, and
that's what we do.
That's like something I really wanted to put in there because like
we
I was
drive
like,
to the attorney's
I
office.
never saw myself going to attorney's office, letting him know like, hey, I need this now. And so, but that's what we did, and we politely went in there.
Obviously.
And but yeah, it was.
But still, it's about adapting to the situation. We
Period.
are adapted. We are Swiss Army knives. We will figure out a way.
That's a great way to put it.
We will figure out a way to use the tools we have to get where we need to go for you.
Yep.
And that sounds salesy. I don't care. But the reality, that's the reality.
Literally, that's what I put in my
go
story.
and do what you need to do.
That's literally what I put in my story. I said, "That's like this is what we do for you," and I put it in all caps, "you," because this is what we do. It's not just us sitting around in the office all day, although sometimes it is.
It's not us just sitting in the office drinking beers, talking about our experiences in real estate,
or if the market's getting hot or not. But no, that's definitely not us. But it's funny because when I got hired as a realtor, I expected one thing, and now I am totally the complete opposite. It's just all about adapting and overcoming. And that's what we're having to do right now in this market is adapting and overcoming. It's been, I saw a stat the other day actually. If you joined real estate in the last 2 years, 65% haven't even made $10,000. Can you believe that?
Haven't made $10,000 in
real estate.
Compensation?
Yep. Not
Money?
even. Yep.
Take home?
Can you believe that? That's right as I joined. And I saw, so this was on my Instagram feed from one of my lenders. And but yeah, it was like 65%. I haven't even.
I'll be really honest with you. I'm not extremely surprised by that.
Yeah.
Because I think there's another stat out there which I don't know if it's from.
If you exclude the family deals, though,
sure,
right? Like that's one stat that will always mess up realtor stats. Is here I'm gonna just have my, I'll just become a realtor, sell the house myself, then not do it again. So.
Yeah, the stat, I don't remember where I saw it. It might have been the National Association of Realtors that they talk about the number of agents that were licensed in the year of 2024 and did 0 transactions was a staggeringly high percentage.
Oh my gosh.
That means that was the year you got licensed, right? 2024?
Yep. You got it.
And if you feel comfortable sharing, now that I'm putting you on the spot, how many transactions did you do in your first year? 5 transactions. You did 5 transactions in a year where more than half the agents that were licensed did 0. And you were in your first year. So that means you were working. That means you were trying. You were out there hustling. That's a big deal. And obviously that many agents, I don't remember the percentage, it was a lot. It was more than 50, I know that.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that.
If that many agents were not doing a single deal, that means that the baseline is apparently extremely low.
Oh, so low.
And I'm not begrudging anybody anything. Things happen in our lives.
Absolutely.
But if what is expected of us or what the perception of the public is of us is that we don't do much, like that stinks. And I'm glad that we hopefully continue to buck that trend. But it is kind of a weird concept that many people.
And the one thing I will say too, like to everyone that out there is listening, like the one thing that has definitely like kept me going is like, people like Nick in our office and Remax, Phil, Danielle, who's a great marketer. It's just like the small things definitely matter, and the space you work in means the most. And when you surround yourself by people you love, it's easy to do. So like, even though I might have been working, I did work hard to get those 5 deals, but like honestly, I'd do it again. Seriously.
Well, and you think about it, I want to expand on that because the community that you put yourself in, take real estate out of the equation.
Yeah.
The community you put yourself in every day, we unfortunately, as adults, have chosen lives where, for the most part, we spend as much time, if not more, with our work associates than we do with our own families.
It's true.
So, to that end, you better like those people. I think, I agree with you. I feel truly lucky and fortunate to be around all of you on a daily basis, mostly because it's different thinking people, it's ambitious people, it's giving people, and it truly feels like a family.
Truly,
all the way across the board. It sounds cheesy as all get out. I don't care.
We are a family though. Like seriously,
it's true.
I mean, it's so everyone's just so involved, right? Like right from the start. Like as soon as I got hired, I didn't feel like a new realtor whatsoever. I felt like I've been in the business for 10 years, but. It was just, I don't know. It's just, Remax itself is a very welcoming community and stuff. So if you are a new realtor out there looking for options, keep remaxing mine because
let's talk about that for a second. Not recruiting. I mean, I'd love to
No.
have you guys come talk to us. Whatever, that'd be great. But I want to talk to you a little bit about that thought.
Okay.
If you have now that you have almost 2 years under your belt, or you do have 2 years under your belt, can you look back at your start and pick out something that you wish you could have done differently, or wish you would have done, or not done at all? Anything, whether it was how you marketed yourself, how you approached the job.
how I approached the job. I wish I would have taken it a little bit differently.
Okay.
I wish I would have listened a little bit more. There was definitely like a part of me that I thought I knew what I was going to be doing, and I got a bunch of older realtors. Like at first, there's a bunch of people that talk to you and tell you what to do and stuff like that. But in your head, you're going, "Oh, I don't need to do that. I'll get busy. Like, don't worry about that or anything like that." I wish I would have just done what they told me to do. Seriously, I wish I would have just taken out like a little notepad, made a checklist of what everyone told me to do, and I wish I'd done every single thing. What's even funnier than that you said that is that Phil gave me a checklist of what I should do every single day. And ever since I started following that checklist, well, believe it or not, I actually got it somewhat busy. So it's definitely
5 things.
Yeah,
that an agent should do every day. I know that list.
And and Phil's older, so he definitely it's impressive.
Seasoned.
Yeah.
Seasoned veteran.
Well, it's impressive that he was able to share the note with me. So it's like now he'll update the notes and I'll be able to see it and stuff. So it's like it's cool. But it's like I wish I would have I wish I would have had a little bit more. I would have been more open because I was definitely enclosed to here's what I have to do and this is what it's going to do for me, and it definitely did not work that way at all. Right? So it's like, but the more I listen, the more I do, the more opportunities you take, it's going to provide opportunity, right? It's like the more effort, and I definitely learned the lesson, the effort you put into real estate is where you're going to get out of it, right? So especially more now than ever. And so it's just like, that's one thing I wish I would have done is just taken everyone's advice and just written it down, just so I would remember everything. So that's one thing I would have changed for sure.
Well, and one thing I know about where you come from, the family you come from, is that family is all heart.
Right.
You guys are by nature, you are givers. You are people who love the people around you.
Yep.
And that, to me, that comes through not only with what you just said, because you said, I could have done this better and I wish I would have listened or I wish I would have learned, but also with how I see you carry yourself, I know you talk with your clients, what I see you do. You have to leave soon to go do showings. I know that. Like this is because you're taking care of people. And so the nice thing is innately it's in there, right?
Right.
You've got it. It's a matter of how do I best know what my strengths are, but then also, like you said, take what people around me are giving me, because gosh, there is so much experience in this building.
Oh,
it's amazing.
It's crazy. And I hope to be as I progress in real estate, it's like, I hope to give back the same thing that people gave back, like how they treated me. I hope I can treat people in the same way in the future. Treat others how you want to be treated, right?
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that you feel in this office.
There's gonna be, in 10 years, there's gonna be an agent who just got licensed, who doesn't want to listen to any of the advice that any of us have to give, and you're gonna give anyway.
Yeah.
And that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna come.
Very true. Very true. Also, we still need to try out this other beer, by the way.
We do, and I didn't want to be, weird and drain my whole.
Oh, there you go. Also, if you guys are
But I did.
Not busy on Tuesday nights, our friend Nick over here works at the Gold Mill, and he does trivia night, and we, as realtors, all showed up, and we're going to have more realtors show up next week.
That was so fun.
That was great.
I know your
time.
mom mentioned, and your mom does not ever tell me something that she's going to do and then not deliver. She is the queen of that.
Oh, yeah.
So when she said, we're going to be there, I was like, oh boy, they're coming. I didn't realize how big a crew you were bringing.
Oh, come on.
But yes, my friend is the director of operations up there, and he asked, a few, a month or so ago, if I'd be interested in running their trivia for him. It's just one night a week, and it's just a couple hours, but it is
awesome.
It's
awesome.
Such a good time.
I'll go ahead and just steal the show from him. It's the best.
Well, it's fun though. I had a good.
It's such a good time, and I like how you run it though. It's not like a strict trivia. You can only have so many people.
Nah.
This is like Kahoot, or if you answer quicker, you get more points, and you're gonna have as big as a team as you want. And the questions are actually fun. Meaning, I was actually engaged in the trivia night, because most of the time, It's like questions from like the 1980s, and I have no idea what is going on. But I'll give an educated guess. No
we
problem.
did have a week where I did it, and I did all 90s stuff. And like each round was different. Like the first round was all kinds of facts about the 1998 Denver Broncos.
I would have known all those, though.
Of course.
I would have known all those.
But then there was like 90s video games, and there was 90s movies, and then there was 90s history, like whatever. So it was like, I did it that way, but I'm not going to do that every week. Like, it's all over the place. So
you gotta change it up, which is what you do, which is fun. So I highly recommend, if you guys are listening, Golden Mill, Tuesday nights at 6:30. So much fun.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
It is a good time.
So let's try this out, shall we?
Let's do it. Yep. This is the
Pale Ale
Peach Stand Rambler. No, it's a blonde.
Oh, blonde. Sorry, blonde.
Yep, you're good.
But in case you're wondering what it looks like, it's quite cool.
Well, it's a very different flavor profile. I get more peach on the bouquet, on the nose there. Wanted to sound like I knew what I was talking about.
No, for sure. For sure.
I like that both of them are lower ABV too. They're both 5%, which means it's not going to knock you on your butt. You could sit out on a patio and drink one or two of these and feel
brand new,
good, and like you're cooling off with something delicious and refreshing.
It's kind of how I feel now.
Yeah. Only we're in the air conditioning instead of on a
that's
patio
very true.
when it's 98 degrees outside.
Is it? Oh, yep.
I have one more thought here because really
Go ahead.
The big things that, I don't know if we ever said this up top, but one of the big things we really wanted to like kind of talk about was just the experiences we go through with people.
Oh boy.
And go through 4 people all in the same, but that idea of service. I want to share a story, but I want to hear if you have a story too around just maybe a client, and you don't have to name names, no specifics, but maybe if you had any times where you've just come across somebody where you have to maybe just ratchet down what maybe your immediate response would be emotionally and learn to be the professional in that moment.
Yes. Actually, that's a great question because the one I'm under contract with now is like, I guess like I've been dealing more with the parents, right? So I have a set of parents that are helping out their kid out of college, but I mean, she's killing it, so she's going to be able to finance the whole thing, but they're helping her out. But we had an inspection that was a little bit brutal on the condo side, so it has been very, very more, like it's been needing a lot more of my attention, more than I ever have with an inspection. I'm sure I'll have another story later where that gets worse, but I definitely like had to like tell them like, hey, not to worry, like this is going to be resolved, no problem. They're like, okay, where's the information? Like where is that showing that? I need proof, all that good stuff. And so it's definitely like where I've had to take, like you were saying, I had to take a step back, and I was just like, all right, like it's all right, we're gonna be okay. And I mean, it was just like I was able to later actually kind of like show them legally, word for word, what I was saying in the contract. Like basically also what I had to do was I had to show them all the wording, make sure that they were okay with all the wording, all that good stuff. And they like brought in like second people to like double check my work and stuff too, which is okay. That's fine with me. Like I get it. I'm younger for sure, but it's also just like that trust factor. So it was just like I took a step back and I just listened, and like that's kind of like how I adapted to that situation. But that's like the worst I've had, which is not that bad. But
it's still in the moment you feel it, right?
Yeah,
and it weighs on you.
It's when you're in the car driving to that next showing and they're calling you about that inspection report and you're already stressing out about with your other client. Is where you really have to hold those emotions down, right? And it's like, it's like you got to reassure them, like, like it's going to be all right. Because they were like about to pull out just from this inspection.
Wow.
And I was in the middle of, I had 5 minutes to get to this next showing and talk to him on the phone to convince him not to do that. And not convince them, I shouldn't say that. I should say like, basically kind of be like, this is all normal stuff. And we can get through this easy as long as you guys are okay with it, right? So, but it was just like, you say that, but in your mind, like, you're also panicking a little bit yourself. So,
yeah, and I think the hardest part there for me, and I don't know if you feel this way, I'm sure you do, but is that sense of if I'm giving them the advice that I think makes the most sense, I'm giving it because it's what I would want to do in this situation if it were me in
seriously.
their seat.
Yep.
But it's one thing to say that; it's a lot different
So much
to
harder.
have them receive that.
Yes, I agree.
And it is, like we talked about earlier, it is stressful. It is hard. The whole process is stressful and hard. So the reality of, trying to help them understand or help them navigate it and give them good advice, and then they come to whatever decision they're going to come to, ultimately. But that's what we're here for. But it's hard. It is so hard to have those conversations and have it received the right way, because every recipient of a message is going to take it their own way, right?
Yeah, it's like watching a horror movie. When they start panicking, the horror movie, don't you start panicking a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, that's just like, but it's our jobs to not panic and show them what we can do to fix this. So, and that's like something I take very deeply. So
it's one of my favorite Phil-isms that he gives, is that the number one commodity we deal in as real estate agents is not real estate, it's emotions. And it often, sometimes includes our own. Yep. And it's not necessarily that we interject in fact, we should never interject our emotions into any transaction, because it is between a buyer and a seller, or it is more about being the professional, being the advisor, not elevating or escalating the emotion.
Amen.
But it is a real piece of it sometimes where we have to work through our own in order to get there. And that's why having someone, whether it's your mom, whether it's another agent on your team, whether it's me, whether it's Phil, whoever, like that, I'm that way. I mean, my poor father, he gets those calls from me regularly where I'm like, am I off base here? And I let it go. And
let me tell you.
He goes, no, you know what? I think you're fine. Or like, maybe you are a little bit, he'll be honest, which is good.
So I'd be lying if I would just say I haven't ever called my team in panic. I've called my mom especially in panic for sure. To the point where it's kind of like, well, is he calling about real estate or is he calling about family matters? That's what she's wondering.
Yeah.
Which I find funny. So yeah, but I mean, it's all about the background too. Like that's one thing I always tell to my clients as well, is like my team, right? It's not just me, it's my team. So I have years and years of background experience of people double checking my work and all that stuff. All my wording, like it's gonna be a step-by-step process with all them behind my back. Please don't worry. I mean, I know I'm only 2 years into this, but I have 30 years of experience behind me,
Well,
so.
I say that to people. I almost say those exact words. I say, when you get me, you get them all.
Yep.
You do.
Which is the best part about working on a team, which is why I'm on a team. If I was a solo agent, oh my gosh, I'd be panicking all the time, for sure. And I mean, obviously people in this, I come to you with questions, still. So it's just it's nice to have, like I said, was talking about earlier, it's just nice to be in an environment where everybody helps each other. So, and that's definitely, here, that's where I'm definitely blessed and lucky, because everyone helps me. So, it's, now I want to give back.
And sometimes it is, just like we talked about at the very top of this episode, sometimes it is just therapy. I need to just vent and have somebody hear it.
Seriously.
Good. And
Let it rip.
Or sometimes I need the expertise. Sometimes I need someone to say, no, look at the contractor. No, if it's this, it's that.
Yeah.
It's that. Sometimes it's one, sometimes the other, sometimes it's both. But the reality is, it's nice, I agree with you, to have that as an access point, because I don't know how other brokerages run. I don't know how other offices run. Honestly, I'm grateful that we have what we have.
Me too.
It's pretty great.
I've been in plenty of other offices, and I'm like, yeah, I like my office.
Yeah.
It's just I remember when I worked at the dealership, and I'd go to other dealerships, and I'd be like, if I worked here, I would not be happy.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's tough, man. That comes back to that point of be where you want to be because you want to be there, and
exactly,
the rest kind of flows more naturally.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we've done a little deep dive, and yes, we got emotional a little bit there.
We did.
So hopefully we didn't drive you all off with our our real talk. But
today was no agenda. This is actually just us, just opening up about how the last few months have been.
And it kind of meandered.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it.
I like it. We'll come back to you with some more formal stuff too, but we may have more like this. I don't know, depending on what you guys think. If you dig it, I liked it. It was fun.
If you guys have any comments or anything or questions, feel free to ask us. But if you guys have any ideas you guys want us to do or anything like that, we're open to anything on this podcast. So just let us know. But in the meantime, I thought that was pretty enriching.
It was fun.
Enlightening too.
It felt, like I said, a little cathartic. Get it off the chest a little bit.
It's refreshing.
It's nice. Just like this delicious beer.
It was a great therapy
from Odell
session.
Brewing Company in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you to Odell. Thank you to Denver Beer Company. These were delicious.
Amazing.
Perfect for this time of year. Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you, Nick.
And as always, thank you to Danielle, who's our superhero of marketing. She's here. She's
the best.
She's the real reason this works.
The Rock.
Otherwise, we sit here and just talk to each other for hours on end, and nobody hears it.
Seriously.
So we are endlessly appreciative. Beyond that, we're appreciative for you as well for listening. Thank you. If you have any questions, comments, as Tyler said, please hit us up. If you know how to reach us, if you don't, we'll make sure that on the video side of things, our Instagram DMs or whatever they're called are in there.
DMs.
You're right. I'm showing my age here a little bit. Beyond that, if you haven't subscribed already, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen, please do, as well as on YouTube, so you can watch our faces while we're talking as well.
We are pretty.
Well,
I think. What do you think, Danielle?
We're fine.
Yeah.
Don't put her on the spot like that. That's rude. But we
yeah,
are.
she said, no. So.
Either way, even if we're not pretty, still watch us anyway. And we will catch you guys on the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Till then.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, done deal. That was a good one.
Good job,
It was a good one, man. Thank you. It was fun.
That was a good one. I like that one.